You know, for $90 million, I would have gladly gotten the ring with Anthony Joshua and did the exact same thing. Just ran across all over the ring, tried my best to survive. I would have gladly done that for $90 million, and so would everybody else. Now, at the price that Jake Paul paid, apparently his jaw is broken in two places. But like I said, I would have definitely got my jaw broken to do the exact same thing by running around. I mean, this fight, it was horrible, to say the very least. Now, this is like no fault of Anthony Joshua himself. I thought he did what he was supposed to have done. I mean, but it's kind of hard to go seek a knockout or search for a knockout when somebody is clearly not engaging the whole fight. This fight was Tom and Jerry, MMA, taking dives, all rolled up into one. The Tom and Jerry, it was basically obvious. As you can see, Jake Paul spent more time using his energy running away. The MMA part is because as Jake Paul was taking a dive, it almost looked like he was going for Anthony Joshua legs. Like, so much so at one point looked like he was trying to ankle pick Anthony Joshua, while at the same time prying AJ's knee. I'm not sure if that was done on purpose, but it sure does look like it. Now, it did look like Anthony Joshua was a little frustrated because he started chasing Jake Paul around because he realized Jake Paul really wasn't trying to engage. Jake Paul did hit Anthony Joshua with his best shot, but it goes to show the power that he allegedly has doesn't translate to a power of a boxer or a striker, somebody who constantly throw these type of punches for a living. It didn't translate because that punch that he ended up hitting Anthony Joshua with absolutely did nothing, especially when he hit him with the overhand right. Anthony Joshua definitely didn't even budge. Now, Jake Paul did catch him with a double jab, right? Which it looked, if you look at the video, it looked like it had some power behind it. But at the same time, it didn't do any damage to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is the type of person who's not going to play with his food. He's not going to play with his food because there were some people who actually thought that Jake Paul had a chance to win this fight. Now, get it? This is boxing at the end of the day. Heavyweight boxing. People could get clipped. But AJ is not that dude. I'm sorry. Jake Paul is not that dude. You know what I'm saying? He's not the dude to try to clip somebody. He doesn't have that type of power to really do any damage to an active boxer. Now, you could pull that stuff off with retired boxers and active boxers who basically were drug addicts. You could pull that off with old ass MMA fighters, and you could pull that off with other novice type of boxers out there. You know what I'm saying? But anytime Jake Paul has gone up against somebody where it looks like he might be evenly matched, because this is kind of like the second time this has happened, first one being Hughie Fury, he seems to have a lot of trouble. But good job on AJ basically setting the reality straight. We've seen these type of circuit acts back in the past, where as though you have circuit acts of opponents that they want to boost up, whether it was a former NFL player that they wanted to boost up and they know he has zero skills, whether it was an influencer. Even before the social media days, you had some influencers back then. At the end of the day, when you run into top competition or even mediocre, I ain't gonna say mediocre, but I say average competition, this is the type of stuff that will happen to you. This is the type of stuff that will happen to you. But where do we go from here? Now, I will say this. Jake Paul is very good for promoting fights. Great for women's boxing. He definitely has done something with women's boxing, where as though he took women boxing and put it on a whole new level. You cannot deny that. Jake Paul does troll a lot. He could also sell a fight. You can't deny that. You cannot deny the fact that Jake Paul could sell a fight. It's just obvious. The one thing he can say, outside of somebody like Oscar De La Hoya or Floyd Mayweather, is that he is a promoter who actually gets in the ring. You cannot deny that. If you want to compare promoters to promoters, he is a guy that will get in the ring and talk like he preach it, and it is what it is. But I think Jake Paul, despite his jaw allegedly being broken in 2 places, still has a future in boxing. Just not on the level that he claims to be. And just imagine, the WBC actually was going to rank this dude in the top 15. They might end up doing it anyway, but they was going to really rank Jake Paul in the top 15 of their rankings. This was like a couple years ago when he fought Hughie Fury. They was really pushing for that. Like, oh yeah, if he wins, he this and that and that. They was making stupid comparisons, talking about how does a boxer when they first start off their career, they're beating up a bunch of nobodies, and comparing that with Jake Paul, who he's fighting. But I'll tell you what, most boxers ain't fighting MMA guys to build up their goddamn resume at the beginning, especially at the beginning. Most boxers aren't fighting basketball players to build up their resume and all of a sudden be in the rankings. That just doesn't happen. It's not gonna happen. Now, the reason why they was really trying to put Jake Paul in the rankings is because of money. You gotta understand, money talks, especially in America, but money talks definitely everywhere. But in America, everything's predicated on money. That's why sometimes you don't get a lot of the best fight the best type fights, because it's all a show. It's all entertainment. It's all entertainment. And if they see somebody that they could really market, they're gonna put money behind this person and try to keep that person away from a lot of dangerous fighters, especially if that person has no interest in fighting, let's say, dangerous fighter or fighters. But anyway, this is just my post analysis. As far as the undercards and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I think the fights, the prelims that came on YouTube were a lot better. You know what I'm saying? But apparently there was no popularity, and these are personnel that were actually trying to build up their fights and whatnot. But other than that, that's all I got. Bold and understanding. I'm out. Peace.
Smile. It's fine, right? Yeah. Smile. It's fine, right? Yeah. Smile. It's mine, right?
Yeah.
Smile. Smile.
Here, cut away.
It's mine, right?
Yeah.